Hello everyone, thank you for listening and watching. My name is Nefertiti and you can find my information in the description box below. In this video, I'm going to discuss how you can set up your daily spiritual routine. So what exactly is a spiritual routine? These are the rituals that you do to keep you connected to spirit. Examples of things you can include in your daily spiritual routine are the obvious ones, right? Meditation, prayer, journaling, maybe some spiritual physical practices like yoga, tai chi, or breath work. These are the essentials of a successful spiritual routine. So you can set this up in a variety of ways, right? A lot of spiritual routines are most successfully done in the morning, right? Prior to starting your day, and they can be intricate or they can be very simple. You know, it all depends on your lifestyle and how much time you have and what you have going on for that day, because it could change from day to day as well. But generally speaking, you should have a good solid foundation of some things or something that you do consistently that is a part of your spiritual routine. So why do you need a spiritual routine? Well, we live in a world of duality, of light and dark, good and quote unquote bad. And it's important to always remember that through this duality, we are spirit having a human experience, right? We are spiritual beings, we have a soul, and we live in a physical body. These spiritual practices keeps you in remembrance that you are connected to something bigger than yourself. And the better and deeper your spiritual connection, the better your life works on all levels. Anyone and everyone can benefit from a spiritual practice or spiritual routine. And to some degree, everybody has some sort of ritual or habit that they do to ground them. And this could be positive or negative, right? But that basically is an indication that there's a need inside of us to connect to something, right? That keeps us aware, I guess, that keeps us grounded and connected to the present energy, right? Spiritual routines are often developed during the dark night of the soul phase, right? Because if you watch my last video, I talked about how the dark night of the soul, the purpose for it is so that you can get closer to God. And the way that you get closer to God is through your spiritual practices and routines. And so this is different for everybody, of course, but these routines will typically emerge during this time, especially if it's your first dark night of the soul. The best time, like I mentioned, to do your routines is in the morning and in the evening, right? Something to start your day, something to end your day, but really any time of day that you can be consistent. I had a coworker, this was years ago, and she used to do her spiritual walk every day at lunchtime. She would come back and have her lunch at her desk, but she wouldn't let anybody come with her. You know, people, oh, look, can I come walk with you? No, no, no. This is my time with the Lord. I mean, I think she might have been Christian or Protestant, I think. But, you know, that was her time, her prayer walk, you know, her time to connect. I think she had like 4 or 5 kids. So as you can see, she had to be creative with how she carved out that time, right, to connect to God. So again, morning and evening are best, but whenever you can be consistent is going to be the best. And where you do your spiritual practices, it all depends, right? On the routine, on the ritual. There are some things that should absolutely be kept private, that are a part of your spiritual rituals. And again, that's between you and God, but there's definitely going to be some aspects that you don't share with anyone. Like there are practices that I engage in that I won't be sharing with you all, right? I mean, I've been guided to teach these things, but there are things that I need to keep sacred, that you need to keep sacred, because only you and spirit understand them anyway. And preferably, you want to do your spiritual practices and routines in a place and during a time when you will not be disturbed. So that should be the determining factor. So I'm going to give you an example of my daily spiritual routines, my rituals. So I get up early, very, very early in the morning, usually between 2 and 3 o'clock. And I will have some coffee or, usually some coffee and a liter of warm water. So this is something that you might want to include in your morning routine, is to start your day off drinking water. Now, there are some articles and things out there saying that you should drink lemon water and how it pumps your lymphatic system. I'm here to tell you that there is no scientific evidence to support this, just an FYI. But apple cider vinegar does have benefits for your digestion and other things if you drink that in the morning with some warm water, okay? With a tablespoon or two of apple cider vinegar, dilute it, okay? Don't drink it straight. Drink it with the water. So that's something that you could include, right? Something healthy that you could include. But that's what I do. And then I go into my meditation time, usually an hour. And then from there, I do my readings. Now, my readings depend. It depends on what's going on. Like right now, I'm not doing personal readings, but I am doing readings for a project that I've been working on for the past year, collaborating with some people. But I do my readings in the morning, and then I will do that for about an hour, and then I'll go into my yoga practice, okay? And then from there, I go into my work day, son goes to school, what have you, what have you. But during the day, I am doing things, right, to stimulate, to engage with myself on different levels. So as I'm walking, for example, I walk my son to school, I'm listening to an audiobook of some sort. As I am cleaning, I might be listening to some yoga chants, or I might be playing a cleansing frequency in the background as I'm cleaning my house. So these are just some ways that you can incorporate your spiritual routines into your daily life. So as my day winds down, I'm cleaning, I'm doing all these things, I start to prepare for my evening practice, my evening yin practice. And I might do some foam rolling, maybe some dry brushing on my skin, and then I'll take a bath. Now, my yin practice, I consider that as my evening meditation, but some people like to just do a standard meditation in the evening, but I use that as my evening meditation. And then I'm usually in bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock. I try to be. It just depends. But that's typically how my day goes, more or less. Now, I do a lot, okay, when it comes to my spiritual practices, my work in that area of my life, because that's what I'm called to do. But yours does not have to be this intricate. Like I have a friend, she does 5 minutes of meditation in the morning before she gets out of bed, and she does 5 minutes in the evening right before she falls to sleep. And that is enough for her. And how she knows it's enough for her is because when she doesn't do it, she feels off. When she does do it, she feels imbalanced, her day flows. So you have to kind of explore and see what works for you. And a part of it, doesn't involve a process of elimination, because you'll try things and they may or may not resonate with you. So don't be disheartened by that, right? You're like, oh, okay, I did this. Or maybe you might do something for a little while. Like there's times when I meditate longer or I meditate less. There are times when I do more yoga and I do less yoga, right? So you have to kind of go with the ebbs and flow of your life and decide what works for you. Decide what helps you personally to feel more connected to God, okay? And don't overthink this. Maybe you are a very busy person and you only have so much time to dedicate, right? But set that time and be consistent with it. And if you are busy, I always recommend that you do it first thing in the morning. Just get up earlier if you need to, but get it done, because as the day goes on, it's more likely that you won't do it, right? Because you're going to get distracted, and then this will happen, that'll happen, and before you know it, the day is over and you have not done your spiritual practice, right? Once again, you've broken your commitment to yourself, right? Honor that divinity within you by being consistent with your daily spiritual routines. So again, it could be a little bit of time, or like one of my friends, she used, this was years ago, when I was doing my one of my yoga teacher trainings, she talked about the Pareto Principle, and I've talked about that in a video before too, where she dedicates 20% of her day to self-care. Right? So that's in a 24-hour period. What? That's like 2 hours? Is that right? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But she dedicates 20% of her day overall to her self-care, to her spiritual connection. And for her, that's happens in a variety of ways. She could do that 2 hours all in the morning or all in the evening. So I remember her being very flexible with it, but very consistent. But that's what worked for her. She had that room in her schedule to move it around because she was teaching classes, and they were random and all over, so she had to have that flexibility, right? So that's just another example. But think of some things that you could include every single day that will keep your spiritual connection clean, clear, and strong. Okay, that's very important, especially as we're moving further into the physical build out of this 5D energy, right? It's very important to have that anchor because we're still going to be experiencing a lot of shifts, a lot of awakenings, a lot of people awakening, a lot of upheaval, things like that. All of the things that occur when there's major shifts and cycles moving into new cycles, right? So I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I look forward to speaking to you again really soon. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.